Welcome back to an abbreviated version of T3 tonight. I'm Mr. U. Shane's in the house. Herb is on his way. Who knows who else might join us tonight? But of course, you guys are already full aware. This is our final episode of T3. I think we had a great run. We had fun. Did a lot of cool stuff. Brought a lot of guests in. Made some new friends out here and some connections. And I'm just grateful for it all. I'm going out of my way to not be emotional about this whole thing. We'll see how that turns out. But that's my plan. But Shane, good to see you, brother. How's your week been?
Good to see you as well, Yusuf. Busy as always. So a good final wrap up to the week. Put this show to bed and on to different things.
Yeah, man. Herb's in the house. Evening, sir. How are you, man? Can't hear us?
It's so hard to say.
Oh my goodness. My mic is clearly not working. I heard somebody up in here saying boys to men. I don't think my mic is
so hard to say goodbye to yesterday. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're very underdressed if we're trying to do that video.
I know. I'm in here like a bum.
No, y'all can't look bummier than me. I literally just walked in out of work and jumped on here. So somebody didn't tell me the job site was this far away from home.
Oh, you gotta know that from the rip. They gotta tell you that from the beginning, man.
Yeah.
But I'm a little bit under the weather, man. So I am not gonna try to strain myself tonight. It's gonna be a short version. I'm telling Shane, maybe 30 minutes. There's no point. But what I want to do is get into some of our any of our listeners that are jumping in. Got a couple comments already. Lady Alpha's in the house. Oh my goodness. I don't really want to do all of that stuff tonight.
Lady Alpha, she gonna sing for you. Watch out now.
She can come right on in here and bust a song out. Better her than me tonight. But besides just I guess if there is any reminiscing to be done, this is the day for it. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on your draft, man. Your teams, did they do good? What kind of grades did you give them? How you feeling about things, man?
I'll let Shane go first because he had an actual team draft, I guess.
Okay.
We actually needed a whole team, so it was a good thing that we drafted somebody. I think if you're a Patriots fan, though, off of what this draft haul is, if you're anything but happy, you've been living under a rock. I mean, I think they got what they needed. You can question, some of the spots where they made some picks. I was surprised with drafting a long snapper at the end of the draft and then cutting your longtime captain and Captain America all at the same time.
That was weird.
I especially thought under Vrabel that would be a guy that stuck around. I don't know if maybe Cardona had decided it was the end and they didn't push it, but I haven't seen him say he's retiring or anything. So we had talked before. I think Campbell was an easy pick for them. I like the Kyle Williams grab. I think it's a good position. And then they went offensive line later in the draft too. I mean, they stocked up on what they needed. I think they'll be in a good spot. And I think some of the guys that they picked up as undrafted free agents are going to end up finding a spot on this roster at the end too. So all in all, I think the Patriots did an excellent job. I think they had one of the best drafts, all told.
I know you're happy, man.
Yeah.
Y'all did really, really good. That whole long snapper thing, I saw that, but I'm like, okay, perhaps there's a plan in place that I don't know about. So I'm going to ask you about it tonight. What did you think about it? Because honestly, it didn't make much sense to me. Trav's in the house. What's up, big boy?
What's on, y'all? Sorry for my delay.
That's okay.
You missed Boys to Men stopping by.
Oh,
yeah, it bust out a little snib of the hook of that best-selling songs, and so you missed it, man. Maybe he'll sing it again.
It's so hard to say goodbye. That one?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
No, we're on the same page. We're on the same page.
That was the one.
Yeah,
They
I
busted
thought that
it
was
out
in the
for
notes. I thought in the notes you said we had to come on singing that. Was that not the
I don't
notes?
recall.
Wrong note. Wrong
Oh,
note.
man,
That one was that one was plagiarized because I don't think I would ever put y'all through that, nor our listeners. So no, I wouldn't do that.
What'd you say, Shane?
I was gonna go with calling me bad, but it's a good thing I didn't read the show notes. I would have been way ahead of everybody.
I can't think of a song by Call Me Bad that would be fitting for this occasion. I can't think of one song that you could sing. But before we get to your comments about the Pats and their draft, Shane, Big Mike, the Winning Wrestling Podcast, in the house. Thursday nights, baby. Got to check him out. Some good stuff they got going on. Love you too, brother. Lady Alpha was happy with the Texans draft. Love to see them add another Buckeye to the roster. Why are you trying to bait me tonight? I ain't talking about the Buckeyes tonight or any other night. I'll let you guys respond to this comment about the Texans draft. I don't know how. Honestly, I watched the entire draft. I'm probably one of the few because most folks don't. After day one, they're already out. They checked out. I'm watching everything down to Mr. Irrelevant. So I saw the whole draft, but I don't really know how the Texans did. Did you guys kind of get a feel for if they took care of business, or especially you, Trav, that's in your division, so I know you're watching them. So
I didn't like. I don't like when other teams in the AFC South do even reasonably well.
Okay.
And the fact that the matter is they got Jalen Noel and Higgins, Jaden Higgins from Iowa State, and I'm just like, all right, you got two of the receivers that I would have liked the Jaguars to get, in the second, third round range. Had they not gotten Travis Hunter Jr. So in my head, I'm like, well, dang, I can't clown them for the picks because these are obviously guys who I had interest in. So unfortunately, that's not what you want to see if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fan or supporter. But nevertheless, I mean, the Texans, you guys needed to redo your wide receiver core with what's the name, with Tank Dell likely being out for the year. With this recovery, and you got Christian Kirk. So overall, I don't like that. And they got Jalen Reed too at safety. Again, another mid to late round guy. I mean, they freaking got him in the 6th round. I'm just like, yo, all right, well, that sucks. So in my head, it sucks from Texans fans. They'll probably say they had a good draft, and yeah, they kind of did. Unfortunately, hope, fingers crossed that CJ Stroud will still be an impossible quarterback to coach, and everything will still be great, and they'll get another OC fired.
Impossible to coach?
I mean, that was originally the rumors that was very difficult to coach him even in college, and then it was even more difficult with the last OC where they couldn't even have good conversation. That was kind of how it happened with Bobby Slowett. So I'm just throwing out what things that people hear after you lose the OC in the NFL. Everybody started talking. That's just what the rumor was, is that it was a little bit difficult. Like he just has, if he's not talking to you, he's talking to the coach. And I'm just like, oh, if it's like that, then we'll see what happens. Hopefully there'll be a great situation for Jaguar fans.
What Travis basically said is he couldn't have a segment where he talked good about a rival, so you got to throw something out there to end on.
I cannot. I cannot.
That's what that was.
That's the best that they gonna get it from me is, hey man, you did a good job on the draft. Yeah, I'm hoping they're the rest of y'all. Sorry, and I'm hoping your quarterback just.
Yeah, I hope they had a good draft, but CJ Stroud has ugly feet, so you know what? Forget all them. So that's basically what that was. Just throw some shade out here.
Huh?
That's it.
Where did podiatry get involved in this?
I'm just saying. He said he was gonna come up with something before the end of that segment. There was gonna be something. So look, I ain't even mad at it.
Oh goodness!
If this was an SEC segment,
you
that's how we would be.
Watch out talking about the. You want to watch out and talk about the Texans and feet and massage and anything else. They'll disband that team from the NFL.
That's not we ain't gonna have enough time for that. This is a short episode. I told you that from the beginning. That's an extra 15 minutes. We ain't got it, so no, we can't do that.
Well, I got a question for Travis. Were you happy with the bold move?
Oh, absolutely. But I mean, I thought it was on the table 48 hours before the draft, because we were hearing the rumors that it was possible that it was on the table, and then after the draft, the GM comes out and was like, "Nah, man, we had this locked in since April 7th," and I'm like, "What?" So I'm. This is the fun part of being in the media, where you get to hear the rumors beforehand, but also being a fan of the team. And it's just like, oh, so I'm being played by the people I'm talking to, whether it's the agents, whether it's the players, whether it's the scouts, whoever it is. They were just playing all the media at this point. So I'm just like, apparently this is locked in for weeks. And everybody else who were hearing about them being interested in was just, whatever. Maybe somebody who was on their radar, but for the most part, this wasn't happening, and they just do it. And I'm just like, all right, cool. Well, we got a good GM at least. I know he's playing the game, so great job. But love the move.
All right. Well, we cut you off, Shane, and you didn't get a chance to finish up on your Pats, man. But go ahead and finish up what you were talking about with your team's draft. And then, I mean, you guys had a fantastic draft. I'm pretty sure you guys got some kind of A grade, but maybe one of us can find out what the grades are for all the teams, and we can kind of verify that. After that, Herb, you can jump in with yours, and we'll see where the rest of the day takes us. Go ahead, Shane.
I think kind of just to wrap the Patriots up, the other thing is you see where Vrabel and the coaching staff's mentality came in. The offensive linemen they took later on are all known as just angry run game guys to try to build off that offense. So, like I said, you had to change the team completely around. You were devoid of talent in a lot of positions. I think the rookies are all going to have chances to make some pretty big statements coming into camp. So, like I said, if you're a Patriots fan and you're not happy, then I suggest you just not watch the football anymore. You're not gonna find a better draft for what they were looking for.
Yeah. To back that up, you got a B on CBS Sports, and Mel Kiper gave you an A.
There you go. I'm looking at this draft, and I don't know how they don't get an A. If you give them a B, if you give them a B, you're a hater. Like I'm just being honest right now. They got Kyle Williams in the third.
CBS Sports gave him a B. But they also
the past draft was better than the past draft was better than that. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I mean the only thing
that's kind of what I was thinking it was, man.
Really with a running back and is that the running back you choose? But other than that, I don't know how you really question any of the other draft picks they made. And I think he'll fit in excellent. He's the best pass protector of the running backs they had. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's it. Those first 4 picks are fire. I don't understand how anybody hates the way how anybody would give them a B, but whatever. Yeah, Lord. This is my first time truly taking a beat and like looking at the Patriots full draft class. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like in the 4th round and on, you don't know if those guys are going to make the roster. They're coin flips, but those first 4 picks in the top 3 rounds, you got a starting center. Like realistically, you have a starting wide receiver option in Kyle Williams, even though he's been seriously underrated in this draft class. You got I say starting running back option if he's on most other teams, but at minimum, he's your pass protecting running back and Travion Henderson, and you got Will Campbell. Well, what are we doing? That's solid, man. That's really good. Oh, you muted, bro.
Yeah.
Trying to keep you off from hearing me gag and cough a lung up. Sorry about that. I'm gonna say, yeah, I love the pick they made with Kyle Williams too and everything, man. That was really good, man. They did a lot of good things, man. The Travion pick, Shane and I talked about that one last week, but like, man, Antonio Gibson, he on the team, but he ain't on the team. You know what I mean? They need running back help real bad, and this is like unexpected. I think they want to get Henderson here, but they're gonna have some fun out there. This is not a 3-win team from what it looks like right now. They got their defense shorter with some vets out there too, which I think is going to be good for a Vrabel's system. Man, that's not no B draft. That's definitely more than that. All right, Herb, who are you keeping an eye on, and who are you looking to see who had a good draft? I forgot which teams you were going to be focusing on for the draft, but tell us.
Well, because I usually don't pick them. I like the Eagles, because of Alabama players. Only thing I paid attention to was they got Jahad Campbell first round. So I was happy with that pick. And after that, I stopped paying attention. I don't really care about the rest. And I know Raj was throwing his Dolphins. He was okay with the draft. He didn't understand. He thought they was going to draft a better backup quarterback. And then they drafted Ewers to back up, or I guess to fight for the second spot. So they got a guy who's banged up to back up a guy who's banged up all the time. So he thought that was a little weird as far as that goes.
So out of all the picks that they had, that's the one that What's the most concerning?
The seventh
Yeah.
rounder.
Quinn Ewers? I mean, you don't like
Because
Jonas
one of his
Savaiinaea? I
needs
mean,
was draft defense and then get you a good backup somewhere in there. So he's thinking third or fourth round with all the quarterbacks falling, and you know that your starting quarterback is not going to make it through the year. That's a more important position than everybody realizes. Because we saw what happened every year but one so far. So that's the most important thing to him.
Okay. I mean, they got a couple of guys. I just assumed that he'd be really happy with Kenneth Grant and Jordan Phillips. No? That wasn't.
You can get him on. Well, I guess since we're canceled now, you can't get him on here to ask about the rest. I'm just telling you what the most notable thing that we talked about. He hasn't talked much about the rest of the draft, but that was something that stood out.
They got an awesome lineman in Savaiinaea. I like him. I mean, I knew we were going to get him because of where he was in the draft, but if things were different and we had more picks, I would have loved to gotten him.
You've established your two biggest weaknesses: your ability to run the ball straight forward and your ability to stop the run on defense. I don't think that's a bad thing at all.
Okay.
But I do understand.
Go down and we throwing out there Zach Wilson. I just don't know that this is like the best situation.
Well,
let's be real though. Most NFL teams, you lose your quarterback, not like losing for a few games, but like if you lose your quarterback for the season, it should be a wrap. It's most for the most part, it normally is a wrap, right? So
I think y'all are missing my point on it. Most NFL teams, you think there's a chance we might lose our quarterback, right?
Right.
This is the team where you're like, we're going to lose our quarterback. So you have to insulate that one a lot better. You know, like the Bills don't go in there thinking we got to get a really good, backup because you're probably not losing them.
Well, I guess I view it from a slightly different perspective, but I do understand your overarching point. I guess when I'm looking at it like this: if you're White Mike, and you believe that, I call him White Mike. Yeah, it's like we got Mike Tomlin. That's Mike Tomlin, and this is White Mike. I'm sorry.
Oh, because White, like the Run and Wrestling Pod. That's one of our best friends. His name is Mike, and he's white. So I was like, okay. Oh yeah. He says if you're White Mike says you should have got Shador. So.
So no, I'm thinking if you're Mike McDaniels, sorry, there we go.
That man ain't white. He like Cuban or something, right?
Man, that's white. That's off white. Like whatever. It is what it is.
Wow. Mother of pearl. He's mother of pearl. Is that
my overarching point was if you were already him and likely on a hot seat, or if it's not a hot seat, it's a warm seat at bare minimum. At this point, it's not about the backup quarterback. You have to pray to God and whoever you pray to that he is going to make that Tua is going to make it through the season. And if he doesn't, you're already just leaning into this upcoming draft with all these great quarterbacks. You don't want to be a middle of the pack team that went 500 because your backup quarterback got hot late in the season. You want to just like, hey man, ship it off. Like the season's over. The season's over. Off white, yes. The season's over if your quarterback gets injured, and that's what it's going to be. Because if he's injured, he ain't going to be injured for a little while. Tua is this close to being out the league for good, if he gets one more injury. So if he's injured, he's done. The season's over then. Like, don't play around with it. That's kind of how I feel about it. So that's why you probably don't want a good backup quarterback. It's just like, hey man, wherever you go, we go. If you're in a hospital, so is this team.
We'll just be there with you. Pack our bags.
I'm definitely whiter than McDaniels.
Oh boy.
No, McDaniels started off white, bro. He started off looking all extra white, but then then after he had that one successful season, he started looking like he was a mob boss or something. Like I don't know what happened.
This is what happens when you tell people it's the final episode. Anything goes.
I know it. I'm ready for it. I don't even care. I don't even care what happens. I'm like, what? Okay, it's all good. It can't come back on me because it is what it is. But man. Yeah, but honestly, I thought he'd be happy about those 3 picks specifically because they helped their team in that regard. The backup thing, I didn't see where Shador was falling to. Show me where what round we were talking about where he would have landed in a place where the Dolphins could have theoretically taken him because I don't know where that was because.
He got drafted in the 5th, so every round.
No.
The Dolphins didn't have another pick until round after round 2. They didn't have a third or fourth rounder.
Well, I'm saying it because Roger and I had extensive conversations about what he wanted to have in the draft, and he was very, very clear that he wanted as much defense as possible. And honestly, to Herb's point earlier, and we talked about this on multiple shows for how many years it's been? about 3 now. The defense keeps on failing them and have a high-powered offense, but they can't stop anybody. So I was looking for them to get all, and there was so many defensive. There was gold out there on defense in the second, third, and fourth round. They had picks then. So to get a quarterback there as a backup, I just didn't see the point of that. So that's just me though. But give a Raj one a defense. So that's why I thought they were going to do that a lot more. But yeah, it is what it is. But all right, Shane. So, KJ, I'm gonna miss you too. I mean, I ain't really leaving forever, but I'm here. But you know,
he just firing us. He's still gonna be around. He basically fired me and Shane. He was like, "Look,
Exactly.
I'm tired of doing this with y'all."
Not sure. That's
wait. Just got rid of that dead weight.
I don't think that was my thought about this whatsoever. Dead weight is a word I never used. Even to you guys. You guys are
running
studs,
wrestling
man.
pod just hit it on the head. I was just about to say this. The Shedeur Sanders was picked 1 pick after Jordan Phillips. So they basically had to choose between Jordan Phillips and Shedeur Sanders. That's the conversation. I can understand why there might be some anger if you already drafted Kenneth Grant, the nose tackle option to kind of help you stop the run, and then you went around and double dipped on Jordan Phillips at a defensive tackle. I believe he will be a 3 technique over Shedeur Sanders, who's still on the board, and it goes a pick later. I can understand that. Now looking at it with those kind of lenses.
Defense epic bad. They needed a lot of help.
He just needed I don't.
They needed help. We asked White Mike for his opinion, but they needed help. And lots of it on the defense. So they should have did a whole bunch more than that. They should have traded back and got more defensive picks. That's how, watch this year. Watch. You'll see. You'll be like, man, this defense. One of y'all gonna talk about the defense on your shows. One of y'all gonna do it. They've been
soft since Vic Fangio left, so I understand it.
Oh, well.
What's the deal with Prime?
That's definitely. What's your guys' thoughts on the Shedeur fall from grace, if you will? Because Lady thinks that it's because of Prime. I think it's for a different reason. What do you guys think?
I mean, the more you read it, definitely seems like the way they approach the whole process totally. So Prime has a lot to do with that. But if you go sit in all the interviews and you're not throwing and doing stuff and basically making it seem like, hey, you guys will be lucky to pick me. You know, these guys have egos, so they're going to get together and be like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to pick you.
Mm-hmm. Shane, Trav?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to treat this like a job interview. I mean, when you go in and think that you've already got this wrapped up and you're just trying to decide which home you're going to buy when you get in the city you're looking for, you know, you're in trouble. And I don't necessarily think that's you don't hear a ton of teammates say that he's a terrible guy. So you'd have to think that there's some level of teammate that they're okay with. But he had weaknesses to begin with. And then when you come in and think you're unstoppable, you're not your dad. Like, you can't give the old cheetahs never stretch talk because you don't have that to back it up athletically. And then when you pull that in there, and there's definitely a certain amount of NFL people that already do not like his father, and so they're going to hold that against you. You need to put everything on your side, and I think he did a terrible job. That's the reason why. I mean, they also didn't hire an agent. I think at some point an agent would have said, like, hey, by the way, we're slipping pretty bad. We want to do some damage control. They never got out in front of any of that. They never said, hey, this didn't really happen. This is how it is. And then just like Herb said, every team starts slipping that he was terrible in our interviews. He refused to throw. He never learned the playbook. You know, like.
Is this the final, just like Herb said? I'm just a little emotional, guys. I'm sorry. I'll be okay.
Yeah, Shedeur was in a rough situation. He's trying to follow the example of his dad, who was drafted, but his dad also had the resume to back up the talent and the mess that he talked. And I forget what NFL person said it, but someone basically they said it was something like an a-hole to talent ruler or measurement chart. Like if you are an a-hole to this level, your talent better be right here. Like,
Right.
like if you are fill in the blank athlete, I don't even need to name anybody particular. Well, I guess an easy one's like Aaron Rodgers. If you're prime Aaron Rodgers in how you act off the field, then you better be prime Aaron Rodgers on that talent, like right here. Because as soon as you slip off, nobody wants to deal with you. That's how that works. If one of them things gets out of whack, that's how it works. Right now, Shador, sorry, you can't walk into an interview.
Michael Jordan line, where Michael Jordan can be absolutely crazy and everyone hates him, but he's Michael Jordan. So you allow it to happen because it's Michael Jordan. And then when you're Tony Kukoc and you do the same things, you get another team.
Got the paint. Yeah, so you only had like 5 teams that really needed a quarterback. Like the Titans, they took Cam Moore, so they were kind of out of it anyways.
Right.
The Giants, they said he didn't even read the playbook. If you believe those reports, like, hey,
I do believe it.
Test. Yeah, we had to put him through the test, and he obviously wasn't prepared, and then he was angry about the fact that we called him out on him not doing the homework. You're coming from an offense that seemed to be tailored to you, that you were coached by your dad.
Right.
And one of the questions folks have on you, or the book that's out on you, is we need to know or be proven whether or not you can run an NFL offense that's not tailored to your strengths and weaknesses. Are you able to truly just do that? And he didn't show that. He didn't prove that. To Shane's point, this is a job interview, and he didn't treat it like it was. He didn't prepare like it was. It was his fault. And also, yeah, there was only like 5 teams, and 2 of them are already off the board.
Yeah.
I mean, like the thing that gets me is like people picked Jamarcus Russell earlier than Shedeur Sanders, and like everyone knew Jamarcus Russell was going to be a mess. Like Shedeur Sanders, what are you doing in these interviews that everyone's like, yeah, we're just not going to even take a risk here. And even if you're Cleveland, you took him after you took Dylan Gabriel, so that you were like, hey, we already don't trust you, so we're going to take another guy in front of you. So even when you're terrible, maybe we can get rid of you, or we can use you as another bargaining chip.
I mean, and that's a Cleveland decision, and they make terrible quarterback decisions.
Yes.
Like, so the fact that Cleveland was like, yeah, we need to get a second guy just on an off chance, because they picked Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, but now they got like 4 guys. They're still being Cleveland on this whole thing.
5. But no, I can't clown Cleveland for this though.
Jerseys to count all those quarterbacks that haven't panned out for them now.
No, but I can't even blame Cleveland. When folks are like, so this is weird because a lot of folks are giving Cleveland crap about the fact that they have 4 to 5 quarterbacks. I mean, I say 4 to 5 depending on how you view Deshaun Watson right now because he ain't playing this year. But whatever.
I was sitting here trying to think who was the 5th. I forgot Watson was still technically on the team.
Yes, technically he's on the
I've
roster.
already fired him.
He's not going to play. Yeah, they're going to get that insurance settlement, so that's going to help them save like $30 million off the cap. But overall, I'm like, no. This is the one position. Like, if tomorrow I've drafted 2 mid to late round running backs, no one will blink an eye. Why is everybody blinking an eye? Because they got 4 or 5 quarterbacks on their roster right now with the Deshaun Watson anchor around their neck. That's the perfect way to do this.
You can play a couple running backs. I don't think it's any comparison to the quarterback position.
If they land any one of these guys, just anyone, Brock Purdy
was
a starter for the San Francisco 49ers.
I know, but I can play like both my running backs in the same game and figure out what I got. I'm not trying to play both my quarterbacks. Like, I'm trying to get one quarterback. So
I'm just saying, man.
You the Browns, and you've gone through 40 at this point. I don't trust you with 4 on the roster right now to figure it out. Like and one of them is Kenny Pickett. Like, I would just get rid of Pickett and Flacco and just roll out.
He's not going to make the 53. He's not making the 53. That's a prediction for me. I'm going to promise you that he's not going to make the 53. It won't happen.
You got Deshaun Watson, who's going to be on IR and get them an injury settled and help them with the cap with that $30 million. You got Kenny Pickett, who's going to be gone before the end of camp, and then you got these guys basically just fighting. Pretty much these 2, Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur, just fighting it out. And if they land on any one of those guys over the next year, it's not like it doesn't have to happen by week 1. By the next year, when Deshaun is finally able to truly be cut as a post-June 1st cut, then you might have something. So if they land any one of these guys as a mid-round, this is nothing. This is a throwaway pick for a quarterback. And it's a throwaway year because of their cap situation already with Deshaun. This is a no risk situation for them. People are clowning them on this, and I'm actually sitting there like, you know what? For you making a bad Deshaun Watson decision, that's not bad. You got 2 options, 2 coin flips, 2 lottery tickets to figure out what's going to happen at quarterback. Cool.
Well, I'm with you, Trav, on this one. I know they got a long history, a not so good one of quarterbacks. I mean, they got jerseys with their names on it, and they're running out of jersey. So they got a whole bunch of quarterbacks. this was good for them to do. I'm glad they got Flacco, the veteran presence there, because they needed to have that as opposed to what they've seen in times past. He can be there forever, but as far as picking goes, like I said, I don't think he's making the 53. I don't see it happening. Watson's just an albatross right now. They got to wait to the right date. Whatever that date is, it's marked on their calendars to cut that bad boy loose as soon as they can. So it boiled down to Gabriel and Sanders fighting for the opportunity to be the starter for this team at some point in a year or so. So it's not that big a deal. Those two, Pickett and Watson, not really are even in the conversation. They're just there on the depth chart. They're just bodies. They're not gonna have any impact on where the Browns go as far as their season and such. It's about Flacco holding the team down, I guess you could say, until they're ready to pass it off to either Sanders or Gabriel. I don't know which one it's going to be, but yeah.
I mean, neither is an option. Also, to be real, I'm not going to BS you. Like I have confidence in either of these guys being good. I mean, Shedeur has the better chance, probably, but I'm a UCF guy, so Dylan Gabriel comes to mind. I mean, you see. But overall, if neither one of these guys are good, then they just have a great quarterback class next year, and you got 3 quarterback options that you can trade away. There are worse things.
Right. Yeah, I'm not getting caught up in the whole racism angle. No. When I heard about the install package, yeah. But when I heard about the install package and homeboy wasn't ready, didn't know nothing about the team, had no preparation work done, I said,
I love the racism angle because a black quarterback went number 1, and then we go call racism on everything else that happens. Like, what are we doing here?
Well, I mean, racism can. I mean, what
Okay,
Roy
you're not gonna
say?
tell me
What
on this
did
one, Travis.
Roy
No matter
Wood
what
Jr.
you say at this point,
black people have to be able to
You're not
acknowledge
getting me.
that 2%
You're not
of those 2% of chances that something's not racism. This is probably like this ain't it. It's like a lot of stuff's racism. Cool. But just be able to understand and point out when it's not racism. That's like 2% of 2%. 2%. That's just it. This is probably gotta go in that 2%. This ain't racism, bro. This is just a dude who is bad at preparing himself for this job interview, and he did poorly, and he flunked the test. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. He just happened to have a famous face to go with it.
Yeah.
So I'm not baiting you. I promise you. I'm not baiting you. I'm not baiting you right now, Herb. I'm good. We are good.
Oh, you can on the last one, so it's fine. Throwing out numbers like 2%. Like all I'm telling you is the black quarterback went first. Shedeur, you can't just say it's racism or everything else that happens because this one situation for this guy.
Would it be crazy to believe that some NFL owners are racist? Even in their choices that they make.
See, now you let me shift the conversation until I could be right. That's what you're doing right now.
No, I'm just asking the question.
Let me shift the conversation.
Because you said one team
right here
because one team.
I do not believe it.
Yeah, I'm just saying because one team drafted a black quarterback. That means none of these teams are. I don't want to go too far.
I say none of them. I'm just saying he doesn't fit into this box for me.
Fair.
Well, and I think as a guy that probably shouldn't say anything in this comment, but
Travis might treat you nicer, say. The Mr. You and Travis trade, you gotta be careful.
The point that Travis makes is an important one, but the thing is that those owners that are racist, he was never on the board to begin with. So you weren't going to pick Shedeur Sanders even if he read the playbook, if he knew what he was going to do, and you weren't going to pick Cam Ward either. So the question becomes then, are you saying that 28 owners are racist, and so you only had 4 guys that picked because you also went through 5 rounds. So at some point, you got to catch one of the non-racist owners, if there are some, and then you didn't do it. So like that's exactly.
I don't even know what's happening right now. Is this a new math? I'm confused.
This goes back to what we talked about when it came to African Americans in the coaching, fraternity, and the chances they get and the chances they don't get. Like the point is true. Like Travis said, you can fully talk about racism in this situation, but the numbers that Travis threw out there, when you're talking about percentages on this, you're going to have to say that the NFL on a whole did this because of that. Like I said, there's some owners that 100% we're never going to draft a black quarterback. They can tell you that's not true, but it's 100% true. They've already made their mind up. They're not going to do that. They don't take the risk. You can see there's teams that have never really gone the black quarterback set. I won't need to mention them right here, but there are some teams. The Patriots were long known not to be a big fan of anybody in that same ilk, and he decided to make that change. But the thing is, he put himself in a situation where people went to go, there has to be another reason why he's not getting picked. And if you go to the racing task every single time, what it does is demean what the other people have done, because you're going to say, like, this is the reason why I didn't get picked. Not because, as we talked about on the a-hole scale, you tipped it way on the a-hole and you don't have the talent to back it up.
I don't know how we got here. But this is funny though. But this is good. Well, I hope he does well in the league. I think I don't know if it's Herb or Shane. I was talking to about this last week or a week before. But I mean, he's not the classic college kid. There's other factors here. I mean, he's in the college and kind of already rich. When he's in college, I doubt much of being withheld from him from the household finances. So he's not trying to get his mama a house, like I get my mama out of this ghetto and get her into a safer neighborhood and give her a house. He don't have those kind of motivations. Mama's already out here blinging out of control. She don't need she don't need him to go to the NFL and to make a difference in her lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that kind of situation, it produces a certain kind of attitude, and then you in here in these rooms, and it's like, in the back of your mind that no matter what they say, I'm saying, I'm going to still have me a Bentley. I'm still going to be all right. I ain't going to be broke. I can do endorsements or whatever, So I just kind of feel like I wish he had somebody that would just speak into his life and kind of tell him, even though your situation is better than most, be compassionate and understand that, everything can change. One injury, if it's bad enough, your career could be over. And guess what? You're hoping that you can get a commentator job or something or do something else. It could change that quick for him. So I wish a little bit more humility was there, but that's not what we heard. That's not what we saw. So got a comment from the Running Wrestling podcast. I'd be interested to see how many of these kids Shador included are taking pay cuts going to the NFL.
I would assume all of them, right? Yeah, I would assume all of them, right?
At least for the first year, for sure, right?
Yeah. I mean, you got a 5th round draft pick, and where did Shiloh go? I don't even remember where Shiloh went.
Tampa Bay.
Was Tampa Bay.
Tampa. I mean, did he get drafted, or was it undrafted?
I didn't think he just meant Shador's kids. I thought he just meant kids in
I thought he got drafted, but don't hold me to it now.
Either way, it was later. Is my point. So I think all of them might be taking pay cuts, because that's kind of what it is to go from the NIL landscape. Is if you were somebody who made $500,000 to $1 million or whatever the number may be, and then you end up getting drafted in the 7th round, 6th round, 5th round, and you end up taking that NFL minimum, that minimum range of pay, basically. Then yeah, you might be taking a pay cut going from the NIL, which is kind of crazy to say, going to the league, because college is professional now for some guys.
Yep. Shiloh went undrafted and then signed with Tampa Bay.
He did undrafted. Okay, yeah.
And there's a little bit of the not prepared for meeting stuff. Meetings not going well. Something that was attributed to him as well as his brother, so that's not good. But
yeah,
you was took a pay cut. Was you getting any NIL money?
No, there's a lot of rumors about he had a big first he did at Texas, but he had some big offers to transfer instead of going to the NFL.
Yeah, I heard that. $4
to $7 million range, depending on who you believe. So
that was Miami, right?
Say what? No, that's about Beck.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right.
That's what Beck took to leave the draft and go to Miami.
But I do think it's a good thing that folks are coming from the NILs coming to the league now. Like that changes the land. That changes what GMs are looking at, right? Like you already made the point that. Well, yeah, he's already going to be doing well. We know he already has millions on his own just from NIL. He obviously has dad's money, household money, And that all might be true, but all at the same time, any of these guys coming from the NIL landscape now that made reasonable funds in the draft in the first few rounds, maybe let's say 3 rounds or something like that, probably have a little bit of change in their pocket nowadays. And now GMs are kind of figuring out which dudes truly love the game. Like there's a little bit of there versus having to give these dudes $30 billion up front and then flip the coin. Let's see if they show up to practice. Or let's see if they're drinking the night before. Let's see, like you at least kind of know who these guys are a little bit better now that they actually had the money in college. So in some ways, it's kind of good to avoid those, I don't know, Jamar or Russell,
Marcus Russell
kind of situations. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna go ahead and let you guys let everybody know where they can find your work. First off, before you do that, I just want to say personally thank you to all of y'all. Rod, you too, sir. And Big Mike, most definitely. Benton Parker, who couldn't be on with us today, man. But you guys you made this show better. And I really appreciate it. I didn't want to do all of this stuff, but here we are. You guys made the show better, man. And hopefully I was able to talk sports competently because you guys do that very well, not only on this show, but on the other shows that you guys are involved with. And hopefully I didn't sound like an idiot most of the time, hopefully. But this has been a blast, man. I'm not sure what's going to happen with sports in the future. I've been told that I'll be invited on some stuff here and there. And I'm like, I'm good with that. I could do that. But, just want to say thank you to you guys up front, personal, all the listeners and the viewers who've been chiming in, Lady Alpha, all the folks that's been dropping the comments, and KJ. Just appreciate you guys so much. And I'll let you go ahead and share where they can find your work, guys, and everything. And we'll go ahead and sign off one more time. Please don't pause because something's getting ready to happen. All right, so just please talk, okay?
It's okay. It's okay that it's so hard.
Oh my
to
God!
Say goodbye to yesterday.
Let's go.
And then there you go.
Yes,
Raj always got to be Raj.
Yeah, you definitely made it better, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you, man.
All right, I'll go first. You can find me at BigCatCountry.com. Writings covering the Jacksonville Jaguars. We also have a podcast, The Duval Dive, on YouTube or wherever you catch your podcasts. Myself and Kyle, the student of the game, Nash. This bad boy growing. We're just trying to get it to 1,000 subscribers. One day.
Well, come on, help him out.
Yeah,
I mean, I would like to get.
I don't even like the Jags.
I was gonna say the same thing about Bama. I don't even like y'all, and I still watch y'all all the time.
Wait, he said y'all. He didn't say Bama. He don't like me and Raj. That's what he.
No. I don't like. I like y'all. I don't like your team, right. But I will still watch because this is entertaining, man. So I'm here for it, bro. But no, the Duval Dive and the Jacksonville Jaguar stuff. I mean, if you want to talk about Travis Hunter, maybe you don't like the Jaguars. I don't care. You want to know what's going on with Travis Hunter? Give us a like and subscribe. That's fine. Like just have a brother watch free.
Yes,
I love it. Good stuff.
I agree.
Shane Herb, who's up next?
We'll save the best for last. I'll go next. You see Raj_Herb. That's where you can find us on Twitter, and then the Herb and Raj podcast every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. You can come on in. Okay, the dog has popped the door open, but now he don't recognize me, so he's running off. Herb and Raj podcast every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Central. You can also catch us on Saturday nights if you want to stop and have sports and a drink. Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. Central.
Shano.
Okay, as the guy that's not found everywhere for the rest of this, also a shout out to Herb and Raj. They just got a promotion to the big time on Alabama sports, so getting their word out there a little bit even more. You can find them all over the place.
Congrats.
Ben Parker, you can find me Tuesday nights with Ben. We normally record and then you end up on YouTube. And then as Herb said, on Tuesday night and Saturday night, you can always fan me in the fan section for Herb and Raj. Just throwing my 2 cents in there every once in a while.
Appreciate you too, man.
Yeah,
you and Ben do a great job, man. Like you said, wish Ben had been here too as well, man. Y'all always do a great job.
Absolutely. Well, thank y'all. This has been great. For lack of popular belief, I'm not disappearing forever. My YouTube channel still have a lot of updates on things we're going to be doing going forward. All listening platforms still have our shows on it. Just not as many sports shows that we had before. So Thank y'all again for listening and watching. And I'm gonna drop a few more of these comments, and then I'm gonna play some music. And we're gonna be out of here. Yeah, we party in the chat.
Memory, be my sunshine after the rain. It's so hard to say goodbye to yesterday.
I love you guys. Have a good night, everybody.